Hello and welcome once more to day 13. No, it's not day 13. It's day 14 of my 30-day 3D modeling challenge. And today I rolled a very boring thing. I rolled a washcloth. And so to make it more interesting, I decided to put my focus on really like making the UV unwrapping proper, like really segmenting each. You know, there's like this line that doesn't have this. You know how there's always this like less fibrous line on right across the washcloth. Usually, I mean, not every washcloth is the same. The one I'm using as reference does, and you can see there that I already marked it in the seam cuts. Yeah, quite boring, honestly, but the more challenging part proved to be the material making. And also like figuring out how to make a fold nice and neat. I really wanted to make it fold like that, but it's really hard without breaking the mesh like that, as you can see. So I'm like, you know what? I think I restarted once at least. Yeah, here I'm also like trying to simulate the cloth physics, and then I realize, yeah, you need something under to for it to contact with. So yeah, here I have Addy playing with the collider, but it's not doing anything because the cloth is, I don't know, I guess it's not really behaving the way that I expected it to. Maybe it needs more. Yeah, it probably needs like a lot more geometry to behave like proper cloth, because right now this is like, although I really need to experiment a lot more with the cloth simulation, because it's important if you want to make like more realistic fabric folds and stuff like that. But in this case, it's like it loses all of its what should I call it? It loses all the volume. I have no idea why it does that. See, it's just flat. It just so I just give up on the cloth simulating and decide to just go at it like a caveman and make the folds by hand, which is definitely doable. It's not. Maybe some people may think it's not the most efficient way to make somewhat realistic cloth folding, but for the purpose of this exercise, it was like, yeah, it was passable. I think it's definitely doable for those like me who don't want to deal with experimenting with physics and stuff like that. But yeah, so here I just start entering the monkey brain part of my brain, and just fuck it, let's just beast it through and see where it goes, you know. I think I made it work fine. It is a just a washcloth, so I might as well try to make it more interesting, you know. God, it's so sunny outside. I'm gonna get out and do a bit of flow training in a while, if it's not too windy. It was quite kind of windy earlier when I was out. I want to have my glasses fixed because one time I just fell asleep. I just collapsed on the couch because I had just done a 7 hour, 6-7 hour drive back to back for 2 days, back and forth. So I just collapsed on the sofa, and I took my glasses off and put them on my chest to just take a power nap, and it turned out to be quite the long nap of almost 2 hours. And then I wake up with the glasses under me, so they broke, and today I took the time to go and have them fixed. They're not entirely fixed. The guy at the glasses place, he was like, "Yeah, well, the thing about these glasses is that it would be optimal to just switch the entire frame. I don't know what it's called in English, båge, the non-crystal part, the non-glass part of the glasses." And it was like, that would essentially turn out to buy that's basically a new pair of glasses minus the glass, you know. And I'm like, no, I just want them so that they're not falling apart when I wear them. I don't care if they don't stay on if I lean forward too much. They do that anyway because my nose is not pointing straight, so the glasses don't really have a way to stay on my face, regardless of how well you can adjust them. Kind of like, yeah, he was probably like trying to get me to buy new glasses, but I've only had them for 2 years. I'm not made of money. I don't want to pay too much for glasses. If they work, they work, you know. So here I'm just like exploring how, which is the most efficient way to lay out the UVs. And here I'm like, oh, let's try this. Let's try putting one in between the two big islands. But then I realized that, yeah, no, the other way, this way was much better. And you know, it looks okay. It looks good. So over to Substance Painter. This is where, like, yeah, how the fuck do you make the fibers on a fiber cloth? You know, there's a bunch of fiber stuff on the washcloth, and those are quite hard to replicate on a flat surface because, you know, textures use a normal map, but a normal map can only go so high, you know, without significantly changing the geometry of the mesh. And it's kind of hard to fake that on a flat surface to make a... How do you make a flat surface fuzzy? I could have probably experimented a bit more with the noise maps. But it was... I didn't want to sit and work on a fucking tablecloth for over 2 hours, you know. So here I'm just marking the the more fibrous, rougher parts of the cloth. It's kind of tedious because, yeah, you know, as you can see, it's kind of dense. The edges get denser as the further out on the mesh you go. But you know, it was doable. It wasn't that bad. Maybe I'm too attached to the polyfill. I should explore more. workflows in Substance Painter. I feel like mine is kind of outdated. I need some updating. I plan on like once I'm done with this 30-day challenge, I'm planning to just gather a whole bunch of Blender and Substance Painter tutorials and just chug through them. Well, almost as more or less as consistently as I'm doing this, so that I don't get too tired too quickly. Because I really do need to sharpen up my skills, especially since these are two softwares that are constantly being upgraded and improved, and yeah. As you can tell, I spent quite a while doing this. I think if I would do this part again to make it better, I think I would just fill it all out and then use a hard eraser and just erase along the edges. Why didn't I do that? That would have been so much faster. I'll do it next time. Yeah, that would have been much quicker, but oh yeah, I have no idea what happened here. I think it was because I messed around with the height displacement within Substance Painter. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to make the fibrous texture surface. Really hard to pull off. First I was like, do I use a fiber brush or do I use a fur brush? And most of them were quite hard. See, it's like it looks nothing like a towel now. At least I don't think so. I think this is like one of those textures where it's kind of hard to make it. I think it's kind of hard to manually paint the textures so that it looks sort of natural. I think the more minimal you can make the less you need to paint stuff by hand, the better, I think. So here I'm discovering that the fabric suit vintage material is probably the one that's best suited for this. But it's still, I feel like it still didn't come out exactly, not close enough to how I wanted it to come out, but it was like close enough. You can always fake it, in a game. This would have been fine. An indie game, maybe not a AAA game, because let's be real, that's too much fidelity. Too much money involved, too much people, too many shareholders. Don't you hate it when people say nowadays that artists are so cooked? Artists have always been cooked. I feel like artists are kind of like the leftists of the well, not to get political, but artists are. I think artists are. What do you call it? The underdogs of the industries, I'd say. It's very hard to find your place doing specifically what you want to do with your creative skills. And more often than not, I think most people just eventually, hopefully at best, find a compromise where they have this creative output that makes them happy. And yeah, it's like a way for them to keep up a living, earn a living. But it's harder. It seems like today it's harder than ever to achieve that without knowing the right people. Depends on who you are, I think, and where you are and when you are. It is a gamble. I don't know, man. I'm just rambling. So yeah, this is like a well used washcloth, cleaning cloth. That yeah, I mean, it looks sort of decent now. It's like worn and rugged, but yeah, it is what it is. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.